Hello everyone, welcome back to Screenwork Entertainment. And let's strap on and drop this review of this new movie, Oppenheimer. All I have been hearing lately is such praise of this movie, and now, to tell you the truth, I see why. It's freaking badass. However, if you're looking for a high-octane action flick, I'm not for sure why you'd be watching this movie, but this is not that movie. This is more of a slow powder keg of a 3-hour powder keg of a movie. This movie goes into Oppenheimer's early life and the events leading up to making the weapon that he's known for. And it's really nicely paced and just looks gorgeous, beautifully shot. And even though we know what happens, it's still just very stressful to watch. The one thing that really stood out to me was the cast. I had no idea the cast was this large, full of big name actors. I haven't seen some of these actors in films in a long time. So besides Cillian Murphy, who plays Oppenheimer, which I'm hoping I'm saying his name right, who is just, he's great. He's like one of the best parts of the movie. But the other great actor that really stands out is Robert Downey Jr. Now, I did watch a review for this movie before I watched it, so I knew he was in the movie, but I didn't know to what extent. I didn't realize that he was in the movie as long as he was, and he just acted his chops off. Like, I was blown away. Normally, I'm not a big fan of his movies. He kind of annoys me. But this is not the Robert Downey Jr. that we know of. This is not a Disney movie, a Marvel movie. And he's really one of the best parts about the movie. Another thing I like to mention is Emily Blunt. Now, I watched halfway through the movie before I realized that was Emily Blunt. Like, I couldn't believe that was really her. Like, not until the camera shot her face in a certain angle did I say, oh shit, that's Emily Blunt. This whole time I did not realize that's who that was on the screen. I'm a huge fan of her as well. And she was awesome. I really liked her. I mean, the cast in this is just crazy. While you're watching it, you're like, hey, I know that guy. Hey, I know that guy too. Hey, I know her. Damn, look at all these actors in this movie that I didn't even know they were in the movie. It's like they kept it hidden from everybody. It's well done. I like those surprises. I'm glad. Well, to be honest, I didn't really watch too many trailers, but I'm glad that not everything is spoiled for me in the trailer. So this part of the story, I will be getting to some major plot spoilers. So if you don't want this to be ruined, then check out now.
Go on, get!
So this is an all-star cast with a sad but true story of what happened during World War II. But you get to see the events play out through Oppenheimer's point of view and how he justifies making this weapon to himself and others by saying, it's to stop the Nazis, it's to stop Hitler from, if we don't do it, they'll do it. But when the weapon is finally finished and Hitler is dead, he doesn't want to use the weapon against the Japanese. And he really grows a conscience on this and really eats at him. And there's one scene when after the nuke is dropped on Hiroshima, Oppenheimer is giving a speech to everyone. And he's talking and he sees in his mind like what is kind of going on in Japan. And everyone's celebrating, having a good time, like, celebrating that the nuke dropped and that it worked. But yet he knows what's really going on right now and the horrific circumstances that are happening right now at that moment in Japan. And it's pretty crazy. He knows it's not really something to celebrate, but he's kind of left without a choice. And it's just really impactful. While I was watching the movie in the theater, I kind of, at this point, I kind of looked around the theater and saw everyone else. And I was thinking, because I'm thinking to myself, man, these guys shouldn't be celebrating. It's not really, they're celebrating other people's demise. I'm thinking to myself while I'm looking around the theater, is that what everyone else is thinking, about the same thing as what I'm thinking? I hope so, but that's just the thoughts that was, going through my head. But anyways, Cillian Murphy, man, he really does sell it. I don't think this movie would have been as good if not for him being casted at the role he's casted. And also, this is one of the first movies I've seen in a very, very long time, in theaters, might I add, that had some boobies.
Booby!
on the screen. Like, I was completely taken back. I remember seeing parents bringing in some kids to watch this movie, and I'm thinking, well, yeah, that was a bad choice on their part. I mean, there was some pretty graphic sex scenes in this, and some pretty graphic scenes. I was like, wow, I'm not seeing this in the theaters in a while. I mean, I love this movie. I thought it was really great, and the eyes of Cillian, I mean, he really sells the story. It's like whenever the camera pins into his eyes, it's almost like it hypnotizes you. It really makes you believe that he is Oppenheimer, and how smart the guy really was, how far ahead he was, of his time. And the fact that he was friends with Einstein and all these other greats, it just makes me look even smarter and makes him appear to be even more of a legend. And this is a long movie, 3 hours, and it's a great movie. I haven't seen a movie like this in quite some time. But let me know what you thought in the comments. Did you appreciate the movie? Was it too long? Was it too boring? I could see how it could be boring for some. It's mostly just story. Really focusing on the story of what happened. So I thought it was pretty good. I feel like, I'm sure not all of it is accurate, but I feel like I learned something at least. But let me know what you thought in the comments. And I really appreciate you checking out this video and putting in the comments. Thank you very much. Peace out.